First of all, welcome to our regular meeting of the City Commission of Rio Grande City, today being Friday, January the 31st of 2025, and the time being 2:07. At this time, I'm going to ask everybody to please join us in the invocation, and I'm going to ask Commissioner Olivares to lead us.
Thank you, sir. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to gather here today. We ask for a special blessing upon all of us in this room and throughout our community, especially those in our community who may be going through hardships and trials. We ask for the peace of mind that comes with knowing that you are in control. We also ask for a special blessing upon this commission, that we make decisions that best affect our city. We ask these things in thy name. Amen.
Amen. And now, if you wouldn't mind joining me on the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now to the Texas flag. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Thank you so much. Moving forward, I'm going to call roll at this time. Commissioner Ben de Leon, absent. Commissioner Ediel Barrera, present. Mayor Gilberto Falcon, present. Commissioner Olivares, present. Commissioner Nuno Barrera, he's absent today. We have a quorum, so we can proceed forward today. Moving to item 1C, do we have anybody signed up for public forum?
No, sir.
Nobody? Okay, no. All right. We move to the departmental reports.
Want to push the departmental reports?
Mayor, okay. We can push the departmental reports to before executive.
Very well. Are we waiting for somebody?
Yes.
Okay, what we could do is,
we can get started on the departmental because he's already on his way.
Okay. Well, let's.
what we can do is, we can start, because I don't want to keep you all waiting if some of the directors need to attend some other business. I don't want to keep you waiting for 2-3 hours.
Okay.
So if we can start with whoever is here, and then if somebody is pending or missing, we'll wait for the very end.
Very good.
And so,
We'll start with Ms. Kathy.
thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commission. I have 2 items to report for you today. First of all, each of you by your desk got a little baggie. Inside the little baggie is a little replica of the flyer that has been going out this Wednesday. The Kelsey Bass Museum, in collaboration with Doctors Hospital, Renaissance Specialty Clinics, and Stark County Memorial Hospital, will be presenting a heartfelt heart presentation. It's a heart-to-heart on what we can do to keep our tickers ticking. Now, I know some of the items in there you might say aren't very good for your heart. However, I did pack some dark chocolate, which is very good for your heart health. And, of course, everything in moderation, right? So that event is going to take place this Wednesday at noon at the Kelsey Bass Museum Chambers. And it will be presented, we will have Dr. Dilip Menon from the DHR Specialty Clinic, who is a board-certified cardiologist, and we will have members from the Stark County Memorial Hospital Pulmonary Radiology Department to give a short and quick presentation. So I hope you can join us for that. And then speaking of hearts, it does my heart good to be a representative or to help out with 2 very great, wonderful organizations. One of them is our Miss RGC Freedom Fest, and the other one is our Miss RGC. And so I would love to take this opportunity to present to you the Miss RGC Royal Court. We have our little Miss RGC, Delilah Rodriguez. Would you please stand over here? Isn't she cute? And our Miss RGC, Andrea Munoz. And both of these ladies not only represent our city, but they also represent our county. Delilah, I believe, was first runner-up in her category this weekend at the Miss Stark County Fair pageant. I think she was in the preteen. Is that the preteen section category? And then, of course, Andrea, not only is she your reigning Miss RGC, but she is also our reigning Miss Stark County Fair Queen. So kudos to both of these guys, both of these lovely ladies. And with all of these queens, their beauty is only surpassed by their commitment to support our community, not just here in Rio Grande City, not just here in Stark County, but throughout the area. I know they go to other contests and other events throughout the surrounding community. So yes, they're wonderful at what they do. And their grace, oh my gosh, they start them really young. So that is my presentation for today. Photo op, please.
Yeah.
Of
Thank
course.
you so much for
I don't know if they
for
want to
being
say
here.
anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for being determined to represent the various entities within the county. You have done a phenomenal job. We're very proud to have you be our representatives for this county and for the city. So for that, on behalf of the city, thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Would you like to say something? I don't want to put you on the spot.
So yes, I am your reigning RGC and Stark County Fair Queen, which is such a blessing, very exciting, and me and Delilah are both very grateful for y'all letting us be here, and yeah, thank you so much.
Would you like to say something?
I would like to say that thank you all for having me here, and I'll see you all in the next community event.
There's always a handler for these guys.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
To the parents, thank you so much. It's a huge commitment. A lot of city events, and you will have to be there.
Oh, they've already been working.
Yes. Thank you, parents.
Moving forward to the next department.
Yes, the Main Street. Good afternoon, Mayor, Commission. I have a few reports, and that's going to be, I'm going to go ahead and start off with some reports that were submitted this month of January. That was our quarterly report and our annual self-assessment report. Both of those were turned in this past month. Ms. Aminta Reina and myself attended the Winter Texan Expo this month as well, where we were promoting some new tours. That's including the new Stark County Heritage Tour, which is coming up next month, February the 20th, and this is the tour that includes a visit to Roma, Texas. We have several people signed up for that tour already. I want to say I have about 22 already on the list, and we can accommodate 30 only, so.
Wow. And what's the date for that?
February the 20th, and I want to say this is a Thursday, is it a Thursday? Yes, I think so. Yes, we actually have a tour going on right now, that's to the winery. We had 11 people get on the trolley today, they're out there. We have one next week as well, a winery tour, and this is going to be pretty packed. This day we have 25 for that one. The following week we have another one on Valentine's Day. And we still have a few spots, and as of now, I want to say we have about 22 that have booked for that one. So it's looking pretty good. Besides that, we've had a total of 4 trolley tours this month, regular historical downtown tours, including 36 tourists. that came to town and visited us. And that's pretty much what I have for the Main Street right now. We are currently working on getting new floral arrangements for the pots downtown as well. I just received something that was pending today, so we should be working on that next week.
Well, thank you so much. I'm very excited about that trip that's going to be done around the county.
The Stark County one, that's
Yes,
going to
and
be pretty
also
interesting.
Very, very excited that people are taking advantage of the trolley, going to the wineries and visiting our great city. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Commission.
Good afternoon, sir.
My report is on your package, and our route, brush route it's on schedule, so we're good on that.
The what, I'm sorry, what was that?
The brush route,
Oh, the brush.
yeah. And we've been, as you can see in Los Treviños area, they already started with the lights, with the rest of the lights that were missing. They're putting new poles and street lights. And we're already talking with Medina Electric for 755 country estates.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yes.
so we're gonna be working on that this coming month. 14 acres, it's open the whole week for the bulky items. So people can take advantage of going to the 14 acres. It'll be open tomorrow as well.
Those are great news. And I was wondering on that, Mr. Hector, maybe Mr. Milan, on the PR department, maybe they can push for that, because honestly, I think the community doesn't know that they could take advantage of going dumping that at the 14 acres. So we can make sure that everybody knows about it.
Yes, sir.
Please.
I think,
And
I know, Mr. Barrera, that, and I don't think it's in the agenda today, but that street on 755 Country Estates, we're going to ask for some bids on that, but it's not in this agenda, so we'll address it at some other point.
sure, yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Anything else?
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
For all your department does.
Thank you.
Mayor, Commission, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Police Department, we're getting ready for our last test date for the Police Academy. That will be next Wednesday. So far, we have a little bit over 30 people that have already tested. Of course, the backgrounds are still pending. Our department is currently working on our second annual event for Valentine's, which is Cupid Cop, where we go to nursing homes and give out flowers to all of our elderlies in our city. And then we have a female officer and a male officer pair up, and we go around town looking for good drivers and reward them with a box of chocolates and a flower. Cupid Cop.
Oh.
So last year it was actually a huge hit, so we decided to continue it this year. We're working on Stark County Fair, making sure all our citizens are safe during that event, and we're currently working on finishing up on some 5 different grants that we're working on.
Very well, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next department.
Mr. Trevino?
Good afternoon, Mayor Commissioner.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
For Parks and Rec, we're currently in line with our yearly budget. For sports, currently, since weather was kind of on the bad side this past couple of months or weeks, we started back up with our baseball program. So now that with baseball, we now have our Pony League charter that we are currently registering. I want to thank the community for a great turnout these first 2 weeks of registration. Facebook page, we currently now have an active Facebook page for our Parks and Rec, currently 217 followers.
Wow.
So people out there, if you want to follow us, we'll be posting important information about future programs, and it's RGC Parks and Rec.
Do you know how many people have registered for the pony?
Currently, 125 that weren't registered with our Winter League.
Oh, wow.
With our Winter League, we had over 250 participants that mainly carry over to this pony league.
Wow.
Okay. So on that, on those people that registers kids, how many teams more or less are those?
So they're ranging from 4 years old all the way to 14. The league that I have currently, that the city has currently running right now, has a total of 28 teams. So the individuals that are, or the players that are enrolling now, will just add more teams to what we have.
Okay.
Events, this past this Saturday, we had the event of Trees for a Healthy Tomorrow. I would like to thank Mr. Barrera and Mr. O for being there. Thank you very much for participating. Partners that helped this make possible, Ms. Cynthia Vale. She is from Texas AgriLife, and she spearheaded the event. Ms. Rubio for always participating and helping out. Betsy Martinez from DHR for donation and support. Star Camargo Bridge for their donation and support. The Women's Club of RGC, Ms. Elia Ramos, Texas AgriLife. The Police Department for always helping out the Parks and Rec, Ms. Folta and her team at the library. Hector Barrera, Jorge Medina for always helping out. They helped out with digging the holes because it's 13 trees that we planted, and by doing it by hand, no. To Eric Escamilla and my crew for always going along with my crazy ideas to make things better. Thank you guys, appreciate it. And any questions for?
No questions. One of the suggestions that I was going to bring to your attention was that if you could start reaching out to the neighboring cities, perhaps for the upcoming leagues, we can start coordinating so that we can have some leagues incorporated into Stark County. And maybe kids, instead of having to travel all the way to the valley, they can have more events here in town rather than having to go. Like, for example, I know Roma has to travel either Laredo or McAllen. Perhaps we can have something centralized here in the county, maybe reach out to Roma, to their department, and maybe during the summer you can have some leagues that are going to be focused summer leagues, just so that we can have more involvement here within the county.
Absolutely. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Mark, just one last question on the that last Saturday plant a tree. Remember,
yes,
you had mentioned that maybe the possibility to have an irrigation system for the trees and avoid your personnel to go and manually do that. So were you able to get in contact with Mr. Milano on that?
No. I was trying to get prices on the material that was going to cost to do that irrigation. We did a test run on how long it took to water by water hose. It took roughly 2 hours to do all 13 trees. Then we quoted the supplies it would take to put water lines. It's about $800. And that would be go turn on the faucet or the water and go back an hour. So that's what I was going to present. So I wanted to get the details before I presented it to Mr. Milan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next department.
Mayor and Commission, good afternoon. On behalf of the EDC, we had our board meeting last week. We discussed several different projects, one being our small business boost grant. We already awarded some of those grants, and we were able to issue those checks out with several other businesses also on that pathway of receiving checks. So we're happy to see that that program is moving along. Our Main Street, I know we heard from them, but we welcome new board members, and we had our Main Street meeting. We talked about several different projects, so we're looking forward on getting their opinions on our downtown. This morning we had a call with a company to assist us with a 5-year strategic plan for our downtown. I will be presenting that once they submit that. And also we're working on an employer expo and job fair that's going to take place on February 27th. This is in collaboration with Workforce, the library, and STC, so we'll be welcoming over 30 employers so that we can connect them with job seekers. And at this event, which will take place at STC, we will have free haircuts, free professional headshots, and makeup consultations to get them ready to land their next job. So we're really excited about that. And about all the great tours and the tourists. I met someone from Ontario, Canada last week who came and visited our museum. So we're getting a lot of tourists from all over the world. Any questions?
Just want to remind, I believe, the community that we still have the business
The small
booster,
business booster.
small,
Business Boost Grant.
glad that you corrected, because I was going to say something totally different, similar. But anyway, it's to incentivize businesses to help them out. We have a grant that we're offering for those qualifying businesses. There's going to be small businesses, so just want to remind the entire community that they should come over, reach out to our EDC so that they can apply for this grant. Do we still have any slots?
We have, we're ready to move forward with another 4, so with the 3 that we've already issued, we'll have 3 slots available.
Okay.
I've talked to lots of businesses, given out the application. The application is not difficult at all.
Right.
They do need to submit some information, and unfortunately, we've gotten some who are just right outside the city limits or not at that threshold. So I'm working with the EDC board on some of that to bring back some of that feedback and see how we can further assist some of these businesses.
Thank you. So I encourage every single small business to come over and apply, because it's essentially free money for a lot of our business owners.
It really is.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Brown?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commission.
Good afternoon.
Before you, you have my report. My department does not do very many events. Mine is more of a record housekeeping kind of thing. But I will report that we, in collaboration here with the planning department, with Oneida Garza from Ms. Bea's department, have finished up the RFQ for the agent of records. We have packets ready so that you all can start scoring them. Hopefully that is something.
What program is this then?
The agent of records.
Agent of record.
Insurance.
Oh, okay.
And pretty much in my report also, I have information on our time clock program, which you will have that on their agenda items as well. I can say that one of our employees from the library has retired with 12 years of service, and her last day was January 21st.
Thank you. Do you mind giving us the name so that the audience knows?
Her name is Yolanda Riojas,
Thank you.
library clerk. And if you have any questions on what's on my report, I'll be happy to help you.
No questions from my behalf.
Thank you.
very much. Thank you, Ms. Riojas, for her service at the library.
Oh, yes, thank you.
And on behalf of the plan department, we have Ms. Carmen Salmon. Mr. Tony is not available today.
Okay. Hello, ma'am. Welcome.
Hello. Good afternoon, Mayor and Commission. I am giving the report for the planning department. Let me put my glasses because I'm blind. Okay, so we had a total permits, this is for December, total permits of 114 with square footage of 78,827 with valuation of 1,531,000.
That's for home?
That's the valuation for the 114 permits that we gave.
Residential permits?
We had residential, commercial. For residential buildings, we had 12 with valuation of $1,271,342 with square feet of 13,708. We did have 11 plan reviews. We also, the residential remodel and additions was a valuation of $20,900 with a square feet of 10,206. We had a total of 71 inspections for both residential and commercials. And we had a couple of certificates of occupancy for 22 residential permits. And commercial, I can name them if you'd like. One would be Goody Glam Boutique, K&K Beauty Studio, Azaya Social Events, IHOP, Flex Gym Recovery, Tendenza's Hair Color Studio, Learning Central LLC, and Longshot Trucking Service, DBA Vaquero Truck Stop. We also have, our highlights would be the DHR Clinical Research Center. They got their building permit, and the valuation is $1,890,000 with 12,893 square feet. We issued out a finish-out permit for Ross. We don't have a completion date yet, but hopefully it's soon. And we also did a finish-out permit for Little Caesars on 3162, is it? 67, there you go. On Hospital Road. Almost there. So I don't know if you have any questions or...
Just a quick question on the new residential permits. You said 14, right?
12.
12, and those are for the for new houses?
For new houses.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions?
No, man. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
No further questions, ma'am. Thank you.
That's obviously 3 new homes being built in rooftops in Rio Grande City every week.
That's what I'm saying?
At least 3 new homes, between 3 to 4, 5,
Yes.
depends.
They want 5, 10.
Yeah. You know about that.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commission.
Good afternoon.
And happy Friday, by the way.
Happy Friday.
I believe you should have one of these in your package. I'm going to go over this with you briefly.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to go over item number 1. I just want to give you a brief report on what we did throughout the year 2024. We did a number of 236 leaks overall. Meter leaks, we did 100. And water and sewer connections, we did 22 water and 18 sewer connections. And sewer problems, we attended to 380 overall throughout the year of 24. So that's just a report so you can have an idea of what the distribution crew has been working on our new connections. I'm going to go to the next item, which the next item will be discussed in a further item in the agenda, which is the sewer project for Monroe and Lopez Street. That will be coming down. And I just want a little update on the pilot program update. So far, the meters are working great. The 147 meters that we have connected and 10 commercial meters, we haven't had a single issue with them, and they're working great. And our goal is to connect an additional 10 commercial meters within the next 2 months. We're looking already on focusing areas, and we're making sure that we get on the commercial buildings, residents, and schools. And the last one is just a little snapshot on build 230 more in the first 3 months of the fiscal year 25. It's a great start, and this is a comparison from last year. So 3 months to 3 months, we're built over $230,000 more. So it's a great start to the year, and obviously it's going to continue to grow. Any questions?
Yes, Mr. Flores.
Yes, sir.
Are we done with the installation of the 150?
Yes, sir. We're pending 3, sir.
Pending 3
Yes,
only.
yes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Now, and on another note, real quick, just so you know, because this always happens, and we get a lot of calls on that, and I explained to the community the same thing. We are working on a comprehensive plan to avoid the future big water leaks and avoid interruption for hours like it happened a couple of weeks ago.
Yes, sir.
We know it's a terrible situation. We understand, but community, please understand that these water lines are there, and some of them are damaged, but these commission and Mr. Milan and yourself, Mr. Flores, are working very hard to avoid that in the future, and you're being proactive. You're working on a plan to fix them before it happens, right?
Yes, and
just
actually,
clarifying.
Commissioner, but let me share a little bit on that. We actually worked on a plan to install 5 shut valves. That we're going to focus on 5 areas. Actually, we're going to start next week coordinating 1 area already. So isolate certain areas so we don't get to shut additional commercial business and also residential, of course. Yes. But yes, we are working that already, sir. Yes.
Our goal is to avoid those interruptions for a
Definitely.
long period of time.
We want to minimize the situation, sir. We want to reduce and work as fast as possible and get the leak done and get back everybody with their water.
And you're working on something for the pressure as well, right?
Yes, that is correct, sir.
Good job. Thank you, sir. I would just want to clarify that. Definitely. Because we get a lot of calls and we understand. I mean, nobody wants to be without water for a day. So yes, please forgive us on that, but we're working hard and you guys are working great on fixing it and making sure that it doesn't happen again. And so thank you, sir.
Yes. Any other questions, gentlemen?
No questions.
Mayor, thank you.
I know that we talked before, but
Yes.
I want to keep encouraging you to keep working on those commercial meters.
Yes, sir.
And I know that you're going to be addressing the issue. Thank you so much.
Mayor, they're coming, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
You have the fire department here also?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Commissioners.
My assistant's handing out
Hey, sir.
the reports. I don't know, we handed out the reports, so you have it in your package, but we're handing it out anyway. Those just the calls that we had for the year of 2024, from January of last year to December of last year. The total calls we had in all was over 1,038, but 709 are just in calls alone. On the first sheet there, you have also the cost of what we do when we charge for plan reviewing. We also have costs for incident vehicle accidents. It's a accumulation of that on a monthly basis for the whole year. That's the first sheet on that. And this year alone, we're going to start doing fire hydrant maintenance. We started this month doing hydrant maintenance on the fire hydrants to try to improve our ISO rating. So we're just starting right now. It's just going to take us about 6 months to complete all the hydrants. Do the colors of the hydrant mean anything? Because I've noticed that some are a certain color, some of the tops, some are a certain color. Yes, the bonnet, part of the bottom, top is the actual pressure, the best pressure you can have. It's either green, yellow, or red, or silver. If it's all silver, it's not a good hydrant at all. If it's a green hydrant, it's very good pressure, and then so forth. The yellow, and they have a certain pressure on each color code of the hydrant.
So it's silver, it's not a very good hydrant?
If it's all silver, no, it's a auto service hydrant. And we are submitting those reports to the water department. Every time we come up with a certain amount of hydrants that are no longer serviceable, we forward a report to the water department so they can try to get.
Just an observation, Mr. Muniz, I noticed that with this freeze that we had, there's a lot of area that's dry, a lot of grass that's very dry. I don't know if we can be proactive and send out a message for people to be extra vigilant, we don't want to start fires or anything like that, and just to be more careful.
Sure.
Because I know there's a lot of areas where there's monte or grass that's very, que está muy seco todo.
Sure will. I'll post something out on the post.
And Mr. Muñiz is also here for a secondary reason.
Yes. I'd like to introduce one of our key members of the fire department, Mr. Enrique Melendez. Mr. Melendez has been employed by the city since 2014. He's been an EMT and fire, Texas Commission Fire Protection certified since 2015. But he's here with us since this past year. Recently, we promoted him to lieutenant, and that's the reason why he believes I brought him here for. But obviously, I brought him here just to let him know that he is our employer of the month.
It's this month's employee.
Sir, congratulations on both accounts, your promotion and also the employee of the month. Obviously, the idea is to recognize talent, determination, and somebody who's dedicated to something bigger than all of us, right, to our city. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you for those many years that you have been here with the city. It's greatly appreciated.
And I know Mr. Melendez, he always goes beyond the call of duty.
Thank you. And that's why he's here today.
Yes. He will be here next month.
Yeah. Give you with this plaque, recognizing that you're the employee of the month.
Thank you all so
Thank
much.
you.
Congratulations.
The bird rising. Our employees, thank you.
Any other department?
Just what? Chief, before you leave, just a quick remark. I know that here in the city, everybody's here to help each other, and I know that the airport takes a lot of maintenance. If you ever need any assistance with that, please relay that message to Mr. Milan with the cleaning and some other things that I think you need for the airport. Please don't hesitate to reach out so that we can provide a full service. Okay, you're not alone in taking care of the airport.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Yes, thank you so much for everything. And I wanted to give a last department report. So I'll be reporting for the PR department, and we have a few things that I would like to highlight. So the Real Review short news segment has been brought back, and we believe it's a great way to keep our community informed, to keep our residents in the loop on the events, and it's just a great platform because it gives audio and visual, and that's one of the largest consumed media platforms and forums that we'd like to relay messages, and it's just very easy to convey what we're doing and showcase all the events that we participate and create for our community. And so also, we'd like to mention that the Lunch Break podcast is back. So it's a podcast brought on by the EDC and the City of Rio Grande City, and it just keeps our community informed, and it's a great platform for residents, especially with our new commission, to get to know them better, to have more information, and it gives our residents a different perspective on our new commission. So it's a great incentive. Also, I believe in your packets, there should be a logo branding proposal. So as we know, we do use our city seal to represent Rio Grande City, but it is, it's quite difficult sometimes to align the department branding, so we do believe that a cohesive image would just create a seamless look, and it would be a great opportunity for the city and its departments to look more unified. So if you all can take a look at your packets, it is the proposal, it's a proposed concept, and what all that information states is the reasoning behind the logo proposal, what it could offer, and again, it is just a concept. If the mayor and commission were to agree to it, it could be changed, we could be edited, and of course, we would need some community feedback as well.
Is this the one that you're proposing?
Yes, it's the proposed concept. So it is something that could be worked on. So I would love to hear some feedback. Do you guys have any suggestions, thoughts?
I like the logo, it looks modern. It incorporates our building. This is something obviously that we got to discuss it, but thank you so much for bringing it forth. It's, I think it's elegant, it's modern, refreshing. So we'll discuss it. Perhaps it can be an additional logo on some of the items, but we're going to consider it. And thank you so much for your initiative.
Wonderful. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Have a great afternoon.
Any other departments?
No.
I think we're done.
Okay, we're done? Okay, well, thank you so much to other directors that were here presenting. We appreciate the reports. Reports are very important for the commission and especially for the community because the reports provide an idea as to what's going on with our city, starting from Main Street to what our public utility department, public works, what everybody's doing. It's kind of like a summary, a synopsis of where the city is going. Thank you. Moving forward to item number 2, the consent. But Mr. Miller, were we waiting for somebody else from the reports?
No.
We already addressed it.
Okay. He was here. That was the fire chief.
Oh, okay. Okay.
We didn't want him to miss that.
Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. So, moving forward to the consent agenda. Item 2A, approval of minutes from previous meeting. A, approval of action taken at the meeting of the City Commission regular meeting held on November 12, 2024. What I'm going to do for the commission, I'm going to I'm going to put them all in one item for approval. B, approval of action taken at the meeting of the City Commission, special meeting held on November 19, 2024. C, approval of action taken at the meeting of the City Commission, special meeting held on December 3rd, 2024. D, approval of action taken at the meeting of the RGC EDC 4B Board held on Tuesday, November 12, 2024. E, approval of action taken at the meeting of the RGC EDC 4B Board held on Tuesday, December 17, 2024. And F, approval of action taken at the meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission held on Tuesday, January 14th of 2024. Do we have a motion to approve all of these items?
Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve item 2A, subset A, B, C, D, E, F as presented.
Second.
The motion has been second. Any discussion or questions from the commission?
No.
All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving to the consent agenda, 2B, travel requests.
Mayor Commissioner, if we have a couple of travel requests.
No, Miss Norma from the library was not able to attend, but she has a travel request to attend a conference.
Okay.
And the details are included in your packet.
We have from the public library, we also have from the from the PD as well, a travel request, I believe.
Mayor, Commission, the travel request we have is for our CBE officers. I forgot to mention that one of our officers, Officer Basan, has passed the Part A of his CBE.
Okay.
So this is for their cargo tanks and the hazmat. So once they get certified, they'll be able to inspect all cargo tank
Yeah, I'm
trailers.
interested in getting that
Yeah,
certification.
and the hazmat as well.
Yes, sir. Okay. And obviously that has been communicated to Mr. Milan and
Yes.
submitted?
Yes.
Okay.
It's ready for
Very well. Do we have a motion to approve the requests?
So moved, Mayor.
Second?
Second.
Has been second. Mr. Milan, have you reviewed the requests?
Yes.
Pursuant, and
Yes.
your recommendation is to approve the request?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We're going to item 3A, discussion and possible action to accept the resignation and appointment of members to the Rio Grande City Airport Advisory Board.
Mayor, staff recommends item number 3A and B to be taken to executive session.
Very well.
Do you need a motion to that effect, Ms. Martin?
Yes.
I move that we move item 3A and B to executive session, Mayor.
I second.
Motion has been second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item A and B are going to be discussed in executive session. Moving to 4, ordinances. A, consideration and approval to amend ordinance 94-1401, granting an extended time period to Medina Electric Cooperative, Inc., a franchise for the operation of lines and for the sale of electric lights and power within areas of the city of Rio Grande City, Texas.
Mayor, Commission, before you is an ordinance in regards to the franchise fee for Medina Electric. This is something that needs to be updated. I know we had legal look into the rate. The rate has not been increased since 2004. And they are notified me that basically this fee would affect any and all other municipalities because there's a clause within the ordinance stating if they increase it in one city, they have to do the same across the board. Increasing this would subsequently cause them to forward that increase in cost over to their customers. So they're requesting that it stay the same at the 4 cents, but it's the commission's desire if they choose to.
At the 4 cents? That's
the 4 cents.
And that's the rate that it has been since
2004.
2004, right? And do we know what the neighboring cities are doing?
They're all at 4 cents as well, because of that clause that they have to extend it. If we increase it here, they have to increase it. So initially it was 3 cents, and it went up to 4 cents when another city increased it to 4
If
cents.
another city increases it, then the increase goes
So
in.
they'll have to notify the other cities. Rio Grande increased it, so we're gonna have to
And do
do
we
it.
know the sentiment of the neighboring cities as to whether they want to increase it or
At
leave
this
it as
time,
it
we
is?
have not polled any other city within their service area as far as how they feel
What
about.
cities are we talking about that are in
This
their
would
service
just
area?
be the areas that Medina Electric, which they're a cooperative, serves, so it's a lot of the ranching areas, yeah, and rural areas, so I know they service
But there's
like
not really
Zapata, and
Incorporated communities?
Not really.
there's very few, and they only service a portion of the city limits, because as you know, most of ours are with AP.
Okay, and how does that, and the amendment is to consider the increase, right?
We can choose to increase it or keep it the same. This commission can make that decision, and we can send that back. I know legal looked into it as far as what that increase would bring us if we'd go up a cent, and it was about $4,000, so.
Oh, that's it?
It's minimal.
Okay. So if we were to increase it, it's just gonna bring us $4,000 in addition?
Yes, sir.
And do we know how that's gonna burden the end users?
I wouldn't know what that exact increase would be for them. I can't imagine it's very much, but I'm assuming that it's at $4,000 because, again, they don't serve very much of city limits. It's
Right.
just some of the outskirts. I know they serve like the country estates and some of those areas.
Is there a recommendation from legal or from our city manager as to?
We can
I recommend the increase.
The what?
I recommend the increase.
To,
2%.
I'm sorry?
2% to go with the times. I mean, it's been 20 years since it's
Yes.
been adjusted, and I think with everything going up,
Okay.
it
What
would,
what would that be? What rate would that be? 2% of?
2% of whatever their bill is now would, the consumer would see a 2% increase.
You concur?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Do we have a motion to consider this item?
I recommend that we accept legal and administrative recommendation and increase by 2%.
We haven't received the motion to act, Commissioner.
Okay.
Are you making a motion on the matter?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I thought that's what you were asking. I thought you were asking for a motion.
I second it. Motion has been seconded. Any other questions that we may have regarding this item?
No.
Okay, all of those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. 4B, consideration and approval of ordinance 2025-01 to regulate the use of Rio Grande City by private entities.
Mayor and Commission, this is a first reading into this ordinance, and just as the ordinance reads, it's for private entities using the words Rio Grande City. That needs to be approved by our city, and this is something that we would also recommend be retroactive for any types of businesses. I know we welcome different types of businesses and organizations. Sometimes using the word Rio Grande City is misleading. They associate that with the city being a part of these associations, so we just want to be aware if anyone is choosing to use that name, that they get permission from the city.
Okay. Do we have a motion regarding this matter?
Just to avoid misrepresentation.
And liability.
Right.
What do you recommend?
I recommend approval.
I recommend, I move that we accept that we approve item 4B as presented.
Second?
I second.
Okay, motion has been second, and I concur with the rest of the commissioners and our legal department. Sometimes it might be misleading for a private entity to use Rio Grande City's car wash or Rio Grande City's private security, for example. That
Or
could be a big
trash,
one.
or, I mean, could be
Yeah,
anything,
so-
and they think that the city is offering that service.
This is not to say that people cannot use the name. Perhaps we may consent to the use of the name, but we want to know beforehand what's going on. What are you going to use the name for? and what is it gonna represent to the community, so.
That's correct.
Would this cover, like, let's say somebody wants to name RGC this, would that cover it also?
That's correct. Yes, sir.
Could we put,
Correct.
does that have to be specified?
We can include that if that's an amendment to the motion.
This is a first reading, so we can make
Okay,
changes
okay.
to
If
the
need be.
amendment, I mean, to the second reading, I'm sorry.
And I think that at any point, I mean, somebody's gotta file a certificate of occupancy or something, you know, register a DBA or at some point, so we're gonna find out, or we should find out whether or not they're using the name, but I agree, this is in the right direction. Having a motion and second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Resolution 5A, discussion and possible action to approve Kelsey Bass Museum Advisory Board bylaws and the adoption of the amendment and restated bylaws.
Good afternoon again.
Good
Mayor
afternoon,
and
ma'am.
Commission, you're back. On page 168, I believe, of your packet, you have the revised bylaws for the Kelsey Bass Event Center Commission. And these have gone through legal. We've had some correspondence back and forth, and they have been approved by the current Kelsey Bass Museum Advisory Board, and they are presented to you for approval.
This is for the Kelsey Bass Museum and Event Center Commission bylaws, okay. Do we have a section for termination or removal of board members?
Section 5.
Yeah, this is
Article 4, Section 5. Under offices.
Article 4. That's for officers. I mean for board members, because I see that, I know that we have some issues with some of the boards. And obviously they serve
At the leisure of the commission, of course.
the commission, right? And if there's a board member that's acting contrary to what the commission stands, there has to be a provision as to how to start a removal process.
Okay. I do have on Article 3, Section 4, that it says that each member shall serve at the pleasure of the city commission. However, we
Yeah.
can
I think that before we approve it, we need to add
that to it.
to it that at any point it may be removed by the majority of the commission.
Besides the 3 consecutive absences that you already put.
Right, so the absences and things like that, that's good to keep them active and proactive, but at the same time, for example, if somebody gets into some sort of legal trouble,
Yes, I
right,
understand.
that doesn't represent the city well,
Okay.
we want to address those issues without
Okay.
having to go through too much trouble.
So the recommendation is for me to add an item
Yes,
to
that
the articles.
essentially indicates
Yes.
that any member at any time may be removed by the majority of the commission.
Well, I get with legal on the legalese, on the wording on that, and then I'll see you next month.
Yes.
Need a motion to table?
I think,
We could do a motion to amend
Yeah.
A motion to amend?
Yeah.
the language.
On that, before we continue, Ms. Garcia, thank you so much for addressing this issue. When you got hired by this commission, we requested for all these ordinances and all the legal documentation to be in the proper good standing. So thank you so much. Hopefully we can do this with all the other boards and have everything in shape, please. So,
Yeah. Oh, and one of the other things that I also want to address is that it's got to be very clear also that, so that there's no confusion, that the board serves at the leisure and pleasure of the director in charge and also of the commission.
Yes.
In other words, I don't want for there to be any confusion that the board members are going to get to dictate what the director is going to do, because the director is a direct employee of the city.
Yes.
And so that needs to be addressed. For example,
Yes.
You're the director, you don't want, obviously you have your vision as to where you want to take your department, right?
Of course.
And the board is going to be an advisory board for you.
Yes.
Give you recommendations, ideas, and I think that should apply to all of the boards that we have.
Well,
Okay, and I think
so
that, that also needs to be addressed.
I move to approve item number 5A with the proper recommendations we just discussed.
Okay.
Amendments.
With the, yes, with the amendments that were proposed, Commissioner?
Yes, with the amendments that we just proposed.
I second that.
Has been second. All those in favor say aye.
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 I'll work on the proposed amendments, and I'll see you back soon.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you.
Motion carries.
Ms.
Thank you.
Garcia, I'll be.
So it has been approved, just with
I do want to thank Ms. Rubio because she really spearheaded this effort, and I invite all the other directors of boards to come forward and bring me your ideas, because we can only put this into motion with your feedback and your direction. So thank
Right.
you.
Yes.
And if there's anything that the directors need, such as yourself, ma'am, that you need to address with your board, let us know. This commission is here to listen to you, to make sure that your job is as easy as can be, although it's not, right? It's complicated, but we don't want to overstress you with unnecessary things.
Thank you so much. Can you talk to my husband about that?
I don't think he's an employee of the city, so.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Garcia, so if we can have all these ordinances ready like as soon as possible, maybe in the next 3 or 4 months, so that all departments have them ready with their feedback, of course.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Going to resolution B. Discussion and possible action to approve resolution 2025-01 to support and participate in the South Texas Development Council.
Mayor Commissioners, this is just to inform the South Texas Development Council, which we do participate in it, to update on the information that there's literally a new mayor in town. That the commission mayor information has to be updated, and then it will be a resolution, so therefore, here it is.
I move that we approve item 5B.
Second?
Second.
All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. C. Discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2025-02 to apply for the 2024 Operation Stone Garden grant through the U.S. Department of Homeland Security grant program.
Mayor Commission, this is an annual grant. This is for the fiscal year 2024, where our department is being awarded $290,000 with $290,025. This is for overtime border security grant. The resolution is part of the grant to be able to get it approved.
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve item 5C.
Second. Motion has been second. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving forward to D, discussion and possible action to approve resolution number 2025-03, authorizing the finance director to open a bank account for the Community Development Block Grant Agreement number CDM240074 for the Downtown Revitalization Main Street Program with TDA.
Good afternoon. This resolution is to authorize the finance director so he can open a bank account for the grant plans for the downtown program. It's a $500,000 grant that we'll be getting from TDA, and once we start getting reimbursements, it'll be deposited to that account.
But this for the Brigham Boulevard, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh.
For the improvements of the
upgrades,
sidewalks
yes.
and everything.
Oh, that is correct. Yeah, we have talked about this.
Yes.
We have approved everything, so.
$500,000 to revamp the boulevard.
Right. This is
Handicap
supposed to be the kiosk and all
Yes.
those, right? And the
Yes.
ramps and the lights and
To
things like
have
that.
handicap access.
Right, okay. Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve item 5D as presented.
I second. Motion has been second. Discussion? Questions? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. 5E, discussion possible action to approve resolution number 2025-04, authorizing the city of Rio Grande City on behalf of city manager to approve submission and acceptance of a grant for routine airport maintenance for the Rio Grande City Municipal Airport fiscal year 2025, and authorizing compliance with the grant terms and providing an effective date.
Mayor, Commission, this is a necessary resolution so we can move forward with applying for the ramp grant. This is funding that we will be able to apply towards our airport to make some improvements. I know, Mayor, you were with us at the last Airport Advisory Board meeting, and this is something that we know that we're needing in that area to make some necessary improvements. So this is a 90-10 grant. It'll provide $100,000, and the city will provide 10% of that to make some improvements to the beacon, possibly the runway. So we're going to see how far we can make that money stretch.
Yes.
And the good thing is that we can apply in phases, so we can start a project this year and apply for additional funding next year.
Yes, ma'am.
I move that we approve item 5E as presented.
Second. Motion has been second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you, ma'am. Discussion and possible action to approve the resolution number 2025-05, authorizing the finance director to open a Logic bank account for the debt services.
Mayor, Commission, unfortunately, our finance director could not be here today at this meeting due to an emergency, but he did brief me on this item. We have our Logic account, which we use to put the city's funds, and it assists us in gaining interest. So there is an account that we're needing to close and one that we're needing to open for our debt service. I asked him, why is it called debt service? He informed me that that's where we put the money aside to make payments for all of our COs and bond projects. We issue out those payments once a year. So in the meantime, we can house the money in a Logic account and then make that payment once it's due.
I forgot to ask this on the other account. What bank are we going to use for the other one as well?
Right now,
For the
we bank
500,000.
with Lone Star Bank. That's our authorized financial institution. So
Okay, just
all
wanted
of
to
our
make sure that
accounts
we're
are.
going to stay with
Yes.
with the same bank that we've been. Okay, so we're opening bank account with the same bank.
So
correct?
with this item, we're closing one out that we are no longer needing because that was for the previous CO projects. Those have all been completed. The money is completely exhausted, so we don't have money in that particular account. So we're going to close out that Logic account. And the next item is to open one up.
Oh, this one's going to be closed.
This is to close, yes.
All right.
But that's done through resolution. The resolution is
I'm going
attached.
to move to item resolution number G as well, so that we can approve them.
Together.
Yeah,
Yes.
together. Discussion and possible action to approve the resolution number 2025-06, authorizing the finance director to close the Logic Series 2020 CO account.
Yes.
Mayor, I move that we approve items F and G as presented.
Second. Motion has been second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Motion carries. Going to item number 6, contracts and agreements. A, discussion and possible action regarding the approval of expenditures and contracts valued less than $50,000 but more than $5,000 that comply with or are exempt from section 252.0215 of the local government code.
Yes, the first item there is from our finance department, and that's to make our annual payment to Tyler Technologies. That is for our Encode. That's the software that we use throughout the city to conduct different business. Our water department uses it, our planning. The city uses it for its purchasing, for our PO system, and we're needing to make that payment out.
That's how much we pay yearly?
Yes. So if you see there the cycle, it says October 1st through the end of September on the invoice.
That's the $46,000 payment?
Yes.
And that's for a yearly subscription?
Yes, it's a software fee.
And we have this budget, am I correct?
Yes, we budget this because this is
Mayor, I move that we approve item 6A as presented.
I second.
For this particular item.
I think that...
Or does it need to be?
we have some other items there.
Well, there's more items that need to be presented. Am I correct? Correct.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So let's consider...
I rescind my motion.
Yes. And then
Let's,
before I pass it along to the police department, we have an item there for EDC to request payment to St. Ives. It's part of the parameters of their 380 agreement. We make an annual payment of that amount over to St. Ives.
Okay. Police Department, you have a payment for R&R, $11,954.
Mayor, Commission, this item was actually passed back in June of last year. It was an accident that one of our officers had back in October.
Okay.
The initial quote was $6,604. Once they got into getting to the work, the R&R found out that it was going to be a little bit more, which was $11,954 with 87 cents. They contacted our insurance company. Insurance did cut a check to the city for that amount. This is just to pay R&R for the actual work they did.
Okay. Public Utilities Department, is there anything out of the ordinary from your payments? I know you have payments to Enterprise, Chemtrade, Grande Garbage, Jesse Gomez.
Yeah, that's for repair, sir. It's for repair, Mayor. Yes.
And then
everything else is.
PVC is also a monthly standard payment?
Which one, sir?
PVC?
Yes.
Okay. What repair, man? What repair was?
We're repairing that's for the river pump, sir. One of the river pumps that we had down, sir. We're currently actually in the process to fixing them up, and we need to, sir. It's a need.
Okay. This is something that was not budgeted, I'm assuming?
No, sir.
Correct.
The secondary pump, right?
The secondary pumps from the river, yes.
We'd rather be on the safe side and have a secondary pump rather
We currently have, Jimmy shared a little bit, we have three pumps at the river, so that extract water. We were only down to one. So we'll have a second one running pretty soon within the next week or so, sir.
Okay. From the fire department, we have a payment to Citizens Martins. Is that routine or what is that, sir?
That is some pay, no, that's just the cost for the, on that one.
For the border zone grant, an extrication tool, that will be
Combi tool.
reimbursed to us 100%.
It's a combi tool that we have,
Okay.
yes.
And who's taking care of requesting the payment?
For the OG's office, the grant, we do quarterly financial reports. So any items that we purchase of the grant, we can either submit it on a monthly basis or a quarterly basis. To date, we haven't paid out anything. We're ordering this equipment because it takes a bit of time to come in. So this is just so we can proceed with ordering that particular.
Okay, but this is going to be reimbursed?
Yes, at 100%.
Okay, all right. Now we go to projects. I think, is that going to be addressed by you, Mr. Hernandez, or who's going to address those payments?
I have some and Onida has some.
Payment to half, $26,000?
Yes. So I have the Gonzalez Enterprise. This was to complete the drainage at the Public Safety Building. They have completed that project. We did the final walkthrough. That project has already been certified by our engineers, complete, so we're ready to pay out.
This is the project that we already approved, and this is just final payment?
This is final payment. This is actually the whole payment for that project, and those funds were transferred over to the city from the EDC, so they have the funds to make those payments. So those are budgeted.
Thank you. Ma'am?
And the other two invoices are for half for the water loss study. That is like the 90% payment for them already, which is the $26,000. They are here. If you have any questions for them, I believe they had something to report to you regarding that, and also for NetSync, which is the final payment of their original contract. That was passed back in April 2023.
Okay. Half representatives?
Yes. Christina again? And
Thank you for being here, sir. Ma'am?
How are you?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir? Yes, sir. Thank you for being here.
Well, can y'all hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
Christina Leal with Half Associates. With me is Joe Flores. And what you have is the invoice for our 90%. So we are finalizing the report. We've had it internally reviewed. We have a draft, so we're at a point where we really want to present our results to staff. It's a lot of information, so really what I've given you is just like a snapshot, kind of like high level what the report's going to contain. And, when y'all are ready, we'd love to have a workshop to present this to you and, discuss it in more detail.
And I think that this is the report of the water loss that we have the 40%, right?
Yes.
You were
Yes.
conducting a study/investigation as to
Correct.
what were the city's necessities, and I think this report is going to address that somewhat.
Yes.
Okay. Very well.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We need to put them in for next month.
And I think those are all the payments at this time.
Now, Mr. Mayor, I move that we approve item 6A as presented.
Second. Motion has been second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank
Let
you.
me highlight that, like Commissioner Barrera said, we're working on a proactive, in reference to mold, in reference to water. We have a secondary pump, river pump. We don't want to find out what it's like to lose if we're working on one pump, so definitely, we're actually trying to work on 3 pumps also.
Very well, thank you. Moving to 6B, discussion and possible action to approve the renewal of a 5-year promotional contract plan agreement with Time Clock Plus.
Yes, Mayor, Commissioner, Time Clock Plus, known to us as TCP. It is the software that we used for the employees to clock in and out, keep track of their hours. This is what I use to be able to export the time and process payroll. With the company, we've never had any sort of contract. It's time to renew every year, and we just pay it off. Well, this year, they approached us with a couple of different packages, 3-year, 5-year, and 7-year plan. After discussing with finance director, he and I kind of thought that maybe our best bet for now would be the 5-year plan. Took it forward and discussed it with legal. Think that she came back with the agreement that the 5-year sounds good and it's good for the city. It guarantees us and keeps us locked in for the first 3 years at the exact same rate or price that we pay yearly, currently. And year 4, it'll give us like a 3% increase, and the year 5, it'll give us that 3% as well.
And this is a software that you're comfortable with?
Okay. We've been using it for,
We've been using it for several years, and we've never had any issues. You can find out if an employee is clocked in. Before, you used to have the honor system. When we implemented this, you can find out again if they're on break, if they're out, or if they forgot to clock in, or what time specifically.
How do they clock in? Like do they
Fingerprint.
It scans your fingertips. Or digital.
Okay, very well.
Staff recommends if you would approve the 5-year promotional contractual plan.
Actually, items B and C are the same.
That's correct, Mayor. I recommend that we take them up together.
B and C?
Yes, sir.
Very well. Let me address C, discussion and possible action to authorize the city manager to sign the 5-year agreement with Time Clock Plus.
Mayor, I move that we approve items 6B and C as presented and as recommended by legal and administration.
Second. And Mr. Milan, you're recommending this software?
Yes, ma'am.
And legal, you've reviewed the contract, you approve?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving to item 6E, discussion and possible action to execute the Community Facilities Grant Agreement for USDA grant funds for the Public Safety Building 2020-06.
We skipped D. I think we skipped D.
I'm sorry, we did skip D. Well, let's address E, and then we'll come back, because Ms. Arranz, are you ready to file?
Which one are we doing? Are we doing
D?
Okay, for D, we're requesting that this item be tabled. We're hoping by now TDA would review that application, but at this time it's not. So our recommendation is to
So she's on 6D, right?
You're on D?
Yes. Oh, D, I'm so sorry, that's for another.
Okay.
So
All
D
right.
is to execute the grant administrative service contract with GrantWorks, and we're ready to proceed with that application, and are requesting the signature of the mayor.
That was 6E, correct?
6D.
D?
6D, yes.
Okay, let me clarify. Let me go back to 6D.
Yes.
Discuss and possible action to execute the grant administration services contract with GrantWorks for the Texas Community Development Block Grant Downtown Main Street Program with TDA.
Yes, so when we're working with TDA, even though we love to get grants, they have a process of how everything needs to be presented to the commission and approved. We did go through the procurement process, and GrantWorks was selected for this project, and now we're ready to move forward with executing the contract so that they can prepare the paperwork so we can procure the engineering services and the contract services for this project.
This is for the $500,000?
Yes, it's all relating to
that we
that.
talked about. Okay, and GrantWorks is going to work on this one.
Yes, they were selected during the procurement process, and now
Very
they're
well.
needing a contract to be signed, and that'll be reviewed by TDA to ensure that we get reimbursed for some of this work.
Very well. Do we have a motion?
I move that we approve item 6D as presented.
I second.
Motion has been seconded. Any further discussion? All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Now moving to E. Discussion and possible action to execute the Community Facilities Grant Agreement for USDA Grant Funds for the Public Safety Building 2020-06.
For the USDA,
Yes.
this is to execute the agreement with the USDA for the 2.5 million that we were awarded for them. It is all for the equipment. I submitted a list to them, a little bit over the grant agreement that has already been paid for of all equipment. So all we need is to execute this agreement so we can get the reimbursement.
Very well.
I move that we approve item 6E as presented.
I second.
Motion has been seconded. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Moving to item 6F. Discussion and possible action to authorize the city manager to enter into an agreement with the Texas Department of Transportation for the routine airport maintenance for grant assistance.
Mayor and Commission, this is the actual agreement that needs to be signed for the RAMP grant so that we can proceed with that grant fund.
Very well. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second? Second. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. G, discussion and possible action to execute the Community Development Block Grant Contract number CDN 24-0074.
Yes, my apologies. This is the item that we're requesting be tabled because it's pending review from TDA. We're hoping that we'd have it by now. Unfortunately, we don't, so we'll go ahead and bring it back during the next meeting.
And what's this grant for, ma'am?
This is the same grant. This is the grant on Britton Avenue, which I mentioned there's a lot of resolutions and contracts, and everything has to go through city council so that we can ensure that we get our reimbursement.
Your recommendation is that it be tabled, that it be postponed to another day to address some
Yes,
issues?
because if we get it back from TDA with revisions, we technically approve something that will be null and void.
We're still in the process of
Getting it,
finalizing the actual document.
So everything that we submit everything we receive, we submit to TDA to get their blessing, so we know that we're following the steps for
Very well.
grant funding.
Makes sense to postpone this item.
Yes.
That's my recommendation as well for the commission.
Do you need a motion to that effect?
We do.
I move that we table and postpone item 6G as recommended by staff.
I second.
Second, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Moving to item H, discussion and possible action to authorize Finance Director and Public Utilities Director to contract invoice cloud.
Yes, I spoke to Leonel Cantu in regards to some fees that we're paying for credit cards. This is for the payments that we receive at the Public Utilities Department. They have increased significantly. He did some shopping around, spoke with the public utility director, and we found that this particular program, Invoice Cloud, is going to provide us that savings that we're needing. Right now, we're charging residents that are paying online a $1.25 fee.
Yes, that's correct.
Once we implement this, we will be able to remove that fee.
That fee. And actually, I'm sorry, Mr. We also have the representative on the Zoom right now, Mr. Matt Shaw from Invoice, in case you have any additional questions. But also it is, we'll be removing, by going with them, we'll be removing that. So it's cost savings for also for the customers. And it's also cost savings for us, our monthly fees that we charge, and also it's more friendly user than what we have right now. Because we get a lot of customers, in order for you to make a payment online there, you have to remember your last payment exactly to the cent, which I'll be one of them, I will not remember how much I paid or what it is. So with that, we need to make it a lot friendlier. Because we have a lot of customers saying, it's difficult. I remember my last payment, how do I go back and the system that we have right now, it doesn't allow us.
I see.
If they don't set up an account, they ask them for that additional information. So our current provider charges a percentage fee depending on the type of credit card. And this particular company, it's a flat fee of 3%, doesn't matter what kind of credit card.
And the 125 fee, what kind of percentage is that?
That was just for
3%.
paying online, we were having to charge that $1.25
On top of the
on top
3%?
of that percentage, because that is what the
No matter
company
what the
was
bill was,
charging.
right, that was a.
The company was charging us.
Regardless of what the bill amount.
So it would also depend on your credit card. If you use an American Express, it might be a higher rate than using a Visa or a MasterCard.
Oh, I see what you mean.
And
Okay.
right here, it's at 3% across the board. It doesn't matter which, either bank card, debit card, that Visa, Master, it doesn't matter. 3%.
Is there a
And
way-
we'll remove the 125 from the customer.
Is there a way we can see that webpage or?
A sample of that
Yeah.
software. Mr. Straw, are you able to put that up on the screen?
Sure. Hey, Mayor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Thanks for there. Hear a little bit of an echo, but would you guys like to just see what the customer-facing portal looks like?
Yes.
The map of what the customer sees when they log on?
Yes, please. Yes, the end product.
Sure.
We don't need to see the magic. Just a trick.
No codes here, just a trick. Just pay my bill, my address, and look at my history.
We got
What am I pending today? And the extra savings. That's what we want to see.
Alrighty. So this is the Avita Texas that you see up here today. As you can see, we offer a lot of payment methods that residents and commercial payers expect nowadays in 2025, like e-wallets, Venmo, PayPal. And like Eric was mentioning, right, those are all going to be charged at the same percentage, rather than different percentages based on the card breakdowns. Now, we accept a lot of different revenue streams through Invoice Cloud, but for Rio Grande City, we'll do utilities. So if a customer wants to go ahead and process their payment, they would be able to pay with, an account number, a last name, a service address. These are things that we look at in implementation. In terms of the value that we see coming for the city here, I'm just going to pull this up. And I just want to make sure, can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right, wonderful.
Let me ask you a question. This is for the director.
Yes.
Who was paying the 125? Was the city paying the 125 or the end user? The customer? Okay. I'm sorry about that, sir.
No worries at all. Yeah, when I was working with Mr. Lionel Cantu, we discussed how it was the end user that was receiving that $1.25 payment, but that would be eliminated with Invoice Cloud. Now, I don't have a live demonstration set up for you guys today, but I do have slides that we worked with the utility billing team, Eric, Lionel, to craft about really where you guys are going to see the most value here. What you can see here is Today, customers are having a lot of difficulty signing in. They're asked for an account number and a last payment amount. We can offer things like service address, last name, or residents would be able to simply click on an email or a text message and be dropped right into the payment route. As you can see here in the last page of our payment route, there are options to enroll in things like autopay, paperless billing, pay by text. These are self-service options. And Eric, correct me if I'm wrong here, but these options, when a customer signs up for paperless, that's the cheapest way the city's able to bill a customer.
That is
When they
correct.
sign up for pay, that is a guaranteed on-time payment for the city. So we'll have these options within the payment route. Customers don't need to call the office anymore or to sign up for any of these things or toggle to another screen. We like to think about, Amazon.com and the ease of use that you see when you pay or buy something off Amazon. And we want to make each payment method as easy as possible to use. We also forecast that the city will, on average, we see our customers in the first year achieve a 25% paperless adoption, which in turn would be about a $9,400 savings for you guys just on eliminating those print and postage costs in year one. We also expect to reduce your delinquent payments and in turn your shutoffs by 24% in year one as well. And then lastly, when we think about the health of your customer service organization, the ability for your staff to really be able to give your residents, your commercial businesses, the best customer service and put their best foot forward, we want to reduce some of those billing and payment related calls that can be solved by having an easy to use online system. So we usually see about a 39 to 40% decrease in those billing and payment related customer service calls in the first year. And that's because, our system is a lot easier to use, a lot more streamlined, but also your residents are going to have tools at their disposal to make payments in an easier way, like paying off a text message, for example. Your staff is also going to have a lot of customer service tools. Like, for example, if they're on the phone with a resident and the resident wants to make a payment, let's say it's shut-off day, they need to act quickly, your staff can shoot them an individualized text message right to their phone where they can click a link, pay with Venmo, Apple Pay, Google Pay, or even a credit card, or link their bank account and process a payment. That's my quick overview. I'm more than happy to send each of the council members and the mayor some more information if they would like, but I would love to step back and answer any questions you guys might have.
Basically, we're going to a flat 3%.
Yes.
And saving each customer that pays online $1.25.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And a lot user-friendly, and
Yeah.
I know Legal Review did it, we went through it.
It does seem
It's just,
user-friendly.
customer service better. And we do have a plan in place to, if it gets approved, and we move forward, to launch a campaign to register as many people as they come in to make payments, we have already a booth and everything to set up everything and encourage them to register through the email, so we can obviously focus and increase our online payments and online receiving their bills.
Is there other municipalities valley-wide that use this software?
Not that I know of, sir.
Do you have can you ask him if he has do you have any other clients, any other cities that use this type of software?
Yes, absolutely. We work with over 55 customers within Texas, and we have over 3,000 municipalities and utilities that use us within the United States. The cities that are geographically closest to you guys would be Brownsville, Harlingen Waterworks. Actually, Laguna Madre Water District just signed with us today as well. I believe they're located north of you guys, as well as Hutto and Buda, Texas, Wiley, Texas. Those are just some off the top of my head.
Very well, so thank you.
Of course.
Do we have a motion to
I recommend that we approve item 6H as presented.
Second, any further questions? You're recommending this, Mr.
Yes,
Fuller?
sir.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being patient, sir.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you, everybody. Enjoyed
Thank you. Moving forward to item 6I, discussion and possible action to enter into a contract with the City of Rio Grande City and Enrique Cantu for consultation services for the Public Utilities Department.
Yes, sir. This is to have a consultant work. Actually, Mr. Cantu worked with the city for over 20 years. He was my chief operator for about 4 months when I came in. So he retired. He currently works at another entity, but is it to hire him to provide consulting work for us at the distribution and water plant after hours, during the day, on call, on site, weekends.
Okay, and I think that due to his extensive
Experience,
years with the city, I think that he's one of the ones
He's yes, sir, well-rounded knowledge, yes.
that knows a lot of the key points here in the city, correct?
That's correct, sir.
Okay. One of the things that I would like to encourage is to start documenting all of this information so that we don't have a runaway, just like what we can see here, right? This information should be kept with the official records within the city, correct?
Yes, sir.
But obviously, I know that he brings a lot of value and experience, and we appreciate that he wants to serve the city. We're very happy and thankful because I know that he has been there when we needed him.
That is correct, sir.
So when I say that information should be kept, I'm not implying that there's anything negative with that. But what I'm saying is that at all times, also the city officials should have knowledge of all this information that should be within our files.
Yes, and actually one of the goals, sir, is we're working on kind of mapping all our infrastructure, and part of that engineering, we're going to get some of that have to kind of present, and also GIS. We had an employee that was working on that. It started off, so we're going to continue with it and finish it up, so we can actually have an electronic version, and we can all look at it, where our water lines run through the city, where they connect. Yes.
Yes, because I mean things happen.
Definitely.
You know, and we should be able to have a team in place, be able to respond, address the issues that we have, and we need to be able to identify the sources of the problems, how to prevent and how to fix them, right?
And learn from that experience,
Yes.
consultant services.
Definitely.
Because obviously, do we have like a contract for a year, 2 years, 3 years, or is
It's right now. I think Mrs. Marty was month to month, right? I think that's the way we worded. It's month to month, sir.
Month to month.
Yes,
Okay.
One of the things that I would like for legal to address is just what Commissioner Barrera indicated. It doesn't specifically state that it's a month to month.
Okay.
I don't mind if it's a contract for more than a month, 6 months, a year, but one of the things that I would like to have is a termination clause as well. I know right now it only has a non-conformance clause, meaning if you do a bad service, and we can let you know, but it doesn't have a termination clause. So I think that it should be an at-will, kind of like an at-will contract.
Okay.
So that it could be a two-way street where if he wants to walk away, if it's too much work for him and he thinks that it's not worth it, that he could walk away, and vice versa for the city.
Okay.
So the motion
Can
subject
we
to
make
the
a motion
amendment?
with the amendments?
Yes, sir.
I move that we approve item 6I with the proposed amendments.
Is Mr. Cantu here today? No, he's not. Okay. All right. Do we have a second on the motion?
I have a second.
Okay, having a second on the motion as proposed, now it's up right for a vote. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Going forward to item 6J, discussion and possible action to enter into a lease agreement with tenant Rafael Cautino and Veronica Cautino at 410 East Main Street, Rio Grande City, Texas, 78582.
Mayor Commissioner, these are the suite spaces at the Tijerina complex. I don't know if anybody, I don't know if Mr. Cautino is not here. He used to have a barbecue place at the food truck part on Eisenhower, and now he's interested in leasing one of our spaces
Is that
there.
what used to be pay rates? Is that the one he's?
Correct, yes.
Okay, and I believe that legal has reviewed this contract, correct?
The contracts for the
Yes.
theater and the company.
Or,
Yes.
for Mr. Cautino to operate the barbecue place, burger shop, or something like that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have a motion to approve the
I
contract?
move that we approve item 6J as presented.
Second? Second. Motion has been seconded. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And if I can add, Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I recommend their brisket nachos.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. I'll be the first one to stop by. I'll try them out on a cheat day. Going to 6K, discussion of possible action to enter into the lease agreement with the LRGVDC Valley Metro at 407 Mirasoles Avenue, Suite A and B, and portion of Lopez Tijerina parking lot.
Again, it's,
This is a renewal of the existing
The
contract.
Valley Metro, and they're currently at our Tijerina courtyard, occupying some space there, and their buses use some spacing in the parking lot in the back.
Very well.
So some of this you'll notice is retroactive. They're needing it because
Yeah.
they also apply for grant funding. So this is so that they can have access to those funds.
I move that we approve item 6K as presented.
Second. Motion has been seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. 7A, discussion of possible action to authorize city manager to purchase paving equipment necessary to maintain city streets.
again, Mayor, this is to start the conversations in reference to
Yes.
either contract the services or purchase the equipment for street paving.
Yeah, and Mr. Barrera's here.
Yes, and Mr. Leonel Cantu had been working with Mr. Barrera. He briefed me also on this item, has been working on getting some extensive research on what that would cost the city. I know that there's some projects that we need to pave, and the time that it will take us to acquire this equipment. So he's looked at both options, to get a private contractor to do some of this work for us and also purchasing the equipment.
Down the line, it's, and I speak for myself, it's my belief that the city should be self-sustained and should be able to maintain its own roads. I know that currently we do not have the equipment to pave. And in discussing this matter with Mr. Barrera and also Mr. Cantu, they have made some proposals as to the cost of the equipment. But I think that at this point, the city is not ready to buy the equipment as it has been proposed. But one of the things that I would like to propose to the commission and to the city is that if we cannot afford the paving equipment this year, we should make an attempt to try to do something to provide a better service to our citizens, because we do have funds to buy some equipment. We may not have $500,000 to buy the equipment that we need to pave streets, but if we can't pave streets, we should at least be able to repair them, fix potholes, and fix them well. So my suggestion is that in maybe 2 years, 3 years, we should be able to have all the equipment, but this year, I think that we should buy some equipment, and I would like to propose to our city manager, along with Mr. Barrera, to go out and get additional bids for equipment to fix potholes. That's going to include, I think, a roller. That's going to include a manual compactor, perhaps. And maybe also a manual cutter, so that we're not patching just the holes as they are. I would like to see some nice works. I want to be very, very proud of the kind of work that we deliver to our citizens, that if they call us, that we provide a quality service. And by that I mean, let's go cut the streets. Let's not just patch it. Let's do a professional job when we're maintaining, taking care of our city. That's what I would like to see. So if we can't pave the callejones at this point, perhaps we can just start buying some equipment. So my suggestion is that somebody makes a motion so that Mr. Barrera, along with the city manager, to seek out and make a plan, get us some bids for some preliminary equipment to fix at least potholes and entrances to the businesses, because that's one of the things that we also get a lot of calls. So at this time, I propose that the commission makes an amendment to this item, and that we authorize the city manager along with Mr. Barrera to go out and create a different plan of approach to fix potholes and get bids for equipment that's being proposed.
Well, before we go into the motion, I would like to add to what the mayor is saying. Well, do we have the actual cost of the equipment?
Currently?
Right now?
Yes. Yes, it's about what,
What is it?
400,000?
411,000.
411, so it's not half a million, it's 400, $100,000. Okay.
Yes.
So I contacted some people that I know that have done these kind of work, and I was very interested in at the entrance of the country estates on 755. That neighborhood. It has a lot of very nice houses, and the entrance it is horrible.
Yeah.
Honestly, so I requested an unofficial quote just to see and be ready for this meeting, because I knew it was going to be on the agenda, and I wanted to bring it up because maybe we don't have to make a motion yet, and maybe we can discuss it further, because now I was like in shock with the price just for that street.
Yeah.
And I can say it was about 80. What was it? $85,000 just for that particular job. So then we were thinking that these costs for the equipment was going to be around $350. That was my thinking, but I mean it's a little bit more, $411. So this is just me thinking. Maybe it's not a bad idea to do everything now.
To buy the equipment.
Maybe.
That's the cost of the equipment. We still need to factor in the cost of the material and the manpower.
Of course, I agree. And I'm just saying, we can discuss it further. Maybe we can discuss it in executive.
Yeah.
But it's not a very bad idea. Of course not. It's a great idea, but again, like you mentioned, we don't know if we have the finances yet, or we can be ready, or we can finance it, or we can get a loan. But definitely we need it, and it was. I mean, with three jobs,
It'll pay for itself.
it will pay for itself. So maybe, Mayor, maybe we can take it into consideration. Maybe discuss it a little bit more.
One of the things that we have not proposed is in financing the equipment. Perhaps we don't need to pay it all in 1 year. But if we were thinking of getting all the equipment within 2-3 years, right? Perhaps we can get all the equipment right now and finance it
For 3 years.
I know that as a numbers guy, and I understand Mr. Cantu, he sees this, his concern is to balance the sheets.
Yeah, if you pay it now.
Yeah, and obviously he's thinking, maintenance, I'm thinking
Operations.
Employees
and
material.
things like that. And to me, those are legitimate concerns. But at some point, the city doesn't have to profit on this one, and we don't have to necessarily spend more time, because we already have people going out there to repair streets that are going to spend half a day, 2-day working on the streets, just repairing potholes. We can just send the same people, train them, and spend the same amount of time. We don't have to go out and hire more people. I understand that there's a concern that people don't have the proper training. Well, we'll train them. We'll give them the adequate training. But what I want to see is, I want to see that the city starts getting taken care of. I want to see that our streets are good. I want to see that the people are proud, and that we don't forget about the small guy as well as those big businesses. Because I want to take care of los treviños, and I want to take care of this multi-million-dollar developers. I I think that there has to be a balance there. And this is one of the things, that's why we've been focusing on lighting, we've been focusing on repairing some of the streets, on our parks, and as well as incentivizing people that want to come over and invest their dollars here. But I think that paving the streets, it's...
The business entrances, like you mentioned, I was thinking about that, and yes, some entrances are not good.
Yeah, I mean, the businesses, and we can't concern ourselves as to whether it's public or private property, because they offer a service to the whole public, and if we have the resources to help them out, we should help them out. So at this time, if the commission is inclining towards getting the whole equipment, well then I propose that we make a motion that authorizes Mr. Milan and Mr. Barrera to go out, brainstorm, prepare a package, and consider that package to be financed, and for Mr. Cantu to consider those numbers as to what's going to cost, and if we can get it through financing rather than paying it off. That way we can start offering a service.
Yes, I agree. And adding to that, like we always say, this new commission came into this position with just one goal, and it was to offer and to have better services for everybody, for the community. So I think this initiative, it's great, and it came, of course, right from you, Mayor. And at the beginning, it was scary, but after you start thinking, and I mean, we put it into their hands to come up with prices and logistics and I mean the benefit that's going to bring, and now with the possibility of financing it, so I think it's great. So that's the whole purpose, to have a better service. And yes, if we want to go out and sell ourselves to all those big businesses in McAllen, I mean, having at least the best streets, that's a way to start the conversation. So I agree with that.
We gotta have the roads, the illumination, and the water pressure.
Yes.
So make it attractive.
That's
The trifecta.
Yeah, that's the goal. So I move to approve item with this amendment as it was just previously discussed. So thank you. I hope you can have that package and get the numbers right, so you can convince the whole commission.
I will second that motion.
Okay. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries then, as proposed.
Thank you.
Discussion and possible action regarding surplus and auction of city property. Do we have any?
That's for vehicles, the surplus vehicles that, the new vehicles that were purchased by the city are replacing this. And they're to be auctioned.
Old vehicles?
Yeah.
I don't think the chief had told us, are we gonna use the same auction, or what are we gonna do with this one?
Yes, we could use the same South Texas auctioneers. They would come pick them up and...
Or who's leading this one? Are this your vehicles?
No, these
Oh,
are
they're
city
not?
vehicles.
Okay, and
We have from Parks and Recreation, we have from the Public Utilities Department, we have from the Fire Department, and from Public Works.
and as far as the proposition, what is the proposition being made?
They have to be considered surplus.
That we have to declare them surplus, and this is a
Declare them
picture.
surplus so that we can.
Oh,
remove
so
them
right now
from
we're
our-
just declaring it surplus?
Yes.
So we can remove it from our insurance.
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking that we're getting ready to send it to auction.
Well, they're considered surplus and then they get
Then
sent
we
to
auction.
auction.
Yes, it's, okay, so my question is, what auction service are we gonna use? Or who's gonna do that? Are we gonna have an auction here in the front, or are we gonna send it to
I
a
know that
company?
they
done
tried
auctions in
that
the
at one
past.
time, and it didn't work, so we were hiring somebody that would come and pick them up and take them to a
The
bigger
police
auction.
department, we did away with doing our own auctions maybe about 2-3 years ago, for the simple reason that we would sell 10 vehicles and maybe get 6,000-7,000 out of it. We started using a company out of the valley. They come pick up the vehicles, take them. We saw a big turnaround of actual revenue coming back. So we recommend that we use the same auctioneers. They would come pick up the vehicles. I'll coordinate with Mr. Milan and with Sarah where all the vehicles should be placed, so they could just come pick them up.
Yeah, and that's all the vehicles from all departments.
Okay, all right. I don't have a problem with that. I just wanted to find out what was the direction that we're taking with those vehicles, if they were gonna be auctioned here or sent somewhere else. But-
I move that we approve item 7B as presented.
I second.
Second, all of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Discussion, possible action regarding certificates of construction completion for the RGC Public Safety Subdivision Drainage Improvement Projects.
Mayor Commission, as mentioned before, our drainage improvement project has been completed, so this is one of the final steps so that we certify the completion of this project.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second. Has been second. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. D, discussion possible action to approve any cost associated with sewer extension project on Monroe and Lopez Street.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Flores?
Yes, it's what we've been discussing. I'm not sure if you have the little chart with you, but the cost is $187,000, and it's to provide 23 new connections and 11 reconnections.
Wow.
Yes. And that's the turnkey price.
Just a second.
On that one, Mr. Flores, can you please address the community, the concern and
Yes.
your plan to connect pretty much all those houses on that area in the near future, please? Because again, that was one of our promises.
Yes.
And honestly,
It's
it's a must. And
Yes.
Mr. Milan and myself and the rest of the commission had agreed on that. That's a must that we should do. Those people had been neglected for so many years, and with us here, they're not going to be neglected anymore. We want to connect everybody to the sewer and to have at least the basic necessities that they deserve. They have been paying taxes like anybody else. They have been living in this community, and I cannot believe that when I got here, I couldn't believe that they didn't have the connection. So, and this is just again me talking and to the commissioners and to the mayor, to the city manager, that I'm glad that you worked fast on this one. You looked for the company for the engineers.
Yes, sir.
And prepare this one, and I'm pretty sure you're preparing the second one, right?
Yes, we're working on another
Can
one.
you
That's correct.
explain just a little bit, and how many stages you're gonna divide this whole big project, and how many people will be benefiting from these in the near future? How many houses will be now connected?
Currently, let's start out with this project. This is the first one on the table. This is our largest sewer project that we have with the other two that I'm going to talk about. This one will connect 23 new houses that currently do not have sewer at all, and it's part of the older town in Rio Grande. So it will service 23 new homes and reconnection of additional 11 homes as well. Yeah, it's a start. I know that's something we had discussed months before, so we're a lot closer than we were 4 or 5 months ago, gentlemen.
Yes.
So basically, we worked the numbers. Mr. Julio Gonzalez with Rio Delta did a meeting with me. We've been discussing this. So we just let's do it. Let's get the project started. I met with the finance director regarding our finances. We're good to go on that side of it to be able to start this project, and it's just a matter of, gentlemen, of approving it. And Mr. Milan, I know he's aware of this. We've many discussions, yes. And Ms. Sarah as well on moving forward with this. And the second part of this, I know you mentioned about phases, Commissioner Barrera, is to work on Retama Street. Retama Street.
Retama Street.
You see, yes, that's a smaller project, sir, and it's a little bit more complicated in the sense because half is through an alley, through a callejon, so half of this, like 4 houses, already have sewer, but it used to be county property before, so for some reason, whoever developed the sewer back then, county, only went halfway. They didn't finish the rest of the houses or the rest of the lots. So they left 2 vacant lots and 2 houses at the very end. So that's our next one, yes. And the reason why actually we were trying to do it in-house, but because of the gravity and the incline, it didn't give the slope that we needed. Okay. So the best route is to get an engineer involved. Let's do it right. Let's make sure we can do this. And it's I met with Mr. Julio and it can be, and he is actually working on the engineering plans site for that as well.
Okay, so just to clarify, Right now, this one, it's gonna cover the Lopez, Monroe, you're working on Retama, which other one?
And the third one will be Charco Road, sir.
Charco Road?
Yes.
Charco Road?
I'm sorry, Charco Blanco.
Charco Blanco?
Yeah, but that's actually a bigger one, so I have not given Mr. Julio the green light on that one yet.
Okay.
Once we start this one, we get the second one, then we'll sit down with the admin team and discuss further, and of course, to keep you guys in the loop of.
Is there any other one after Charco Road?
I need to
Charco
reassess.
Blanco?
No, not for the moment, sir.
Not for the moment.
Yes.
So after you work with all these 4 streets or roads, how many houses you will be benefiting? The city will be now connecting.
We're looking close to over 40 or 50, sir.
50 houses?
I would say 50 because the Charco Blanco, there's
Okay.
about 21, 22 there, sir.
Well, to all those community members, congrats, you will have a sewer very soon.
That's the plan, sir.
We apologize for the inconvenience that you had in the past.
Yes, thank you.
Something that comes to my mind when we're approving this, we already have the right-of-ways, easements, and,
As per Mr. Lund, yes.
okay, so
the engineering.
we're not gonna,
On the street, yes.
These are older parts of town, so all of them, they have alleys, they have right-of-ways. They've actually, some of them have big right-of-ways in addition to the street right-of-way.
okay.
So there is a possibility is there.
So approving this is not gonna, we're not gonna have issues down the line into buying property
No.
or having to
No,
get right-of-ways,
No, we-
easements and things of that nature?
no.
I just have a question on the invoice, sir. There's an amount there that says grand total, but then there's another amount written.
Yeah,
that's-
yeah, I know it's a little bit confusing, but the final amount, Commissioner, it's the 180s with his signature right there,
Okay,
with the engineer's signature.
okay.
And where is it?
At the very bottom there.
Is that subject to change? And because I mean, that's an estimate, right?
Yes, you're correct.
Clarifying that just.
Yes, that is correct. It is an estimate, Commissioner Barrett,
Yes.
and we still need to bid it out.
Okay.
So it can vary, sir. Obviously, in the construction business, you know
Yes.
how things are, so
Bring it
definitely.
back with the exact amount.
Okay, as long as you're the ones who go to those bidding meetings.
Yes.
You're the ones who know, Ms. Hernandez has worked on these kind of projects in the past. So as long as you get a company that is reliable and can provide good and an accessible ways to build in and a good price, by all means, you just propose it to us and we'll just say yes or no. But okay, thank you.
Definitely, sir.
Appreciate it. 50 houses.
Do you need a motion, Mayor?
I
One more
wanted
discussion.
to also talk to Mr. Cantu to see what was his take on,
Okay. Our apologies, Mr. Cantu had a death in the family.
okay. But this is just to approve the bidding process.
Yes.
and
Correct.
Engineering
We
and all
still,
that, right?
we'll bring it back with exact
Yes.
bids and whatever.
Okay, well,
Definitely.
obviously,
It's just kind of to get started, and then we'll
like I
Get through.
had said before, to me, these are basic necessities, and if you look at it in terms of an investment, it doesn't make any sense because we're probably not gonna see a return on investment. But at the very end and bottom line is that people within the city should be able to benefit from the basic services that the city has to offer, and that is water and sewer. And I think that this is something that has to be done. I think it has to be approved at some point. Hopefully it is approved today. But at this time, it's up for consideration, and I would like to ask if there is a motion.
I move that we approve item 6D as presented and discussed.
Do we
I
have a
second
second? The motion has been seconded. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We move forward to 7E, discussion and possible action to purchase 0.356 acres from Peña Family Central Pond Realty LLC, located adjacent to the Silver Star Park.
And at this point, staff recommends taking this item to executive session.
What was that, I'm sorry?
Staff recommends taking this item to executive session.
Mayor, I move that we address item 7E in executive session.
I second.
Okay. The motion has been seconded. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Is Mr. Peña here, or a representative from Peña Family Central? No? Okay. All right. Planning, A, discussion, possible action on the approval for wine and malt beverage off-premise for Glenda Martinez for business located at 5529 FM 1430 BB8 Mac Drive-Thru, Rio Grande City, Texas, 78582.
Good afternoon, Mayor.
Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, this item was approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission on the regular meeting on January 14 to 25.
Can you tell us the location of this proposed license?
This is in the 1 mile ETJ.
And what, sir?
In the
ETJ?
1 mile, yeah, ETJ.
Not close to schools, churches,
No,
anything like that?
not close.
No issues like that? Okay.
I move that we approve item 8A as presented.
Second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Thank you, sir. B, discussion, possible action on preliminary approval of replat of Lot 1B and Lot 1 St. Ives subdivision.
Mayor, this is the replat of that 1B. Mr. Coronel, can you tell us what was missing?
Okay, on this one was approved by the Planning and Zoning Commission too, on the regular meeting, with conditional agreement between the city and the developer for right of way on Hill Country Drive. And the note has been addressed already.
Okay, and the recommendation is that we approve this matter?
Yes, as a matter of fact, things that they address are concerned about the requested right-of-way, and there's a plat note also. Staff recommends preliminary and final approval of the plat.
You have any questions, there's an engineer.
Yeah, we have the engineer in the audience also.
Do we have a motion on that?
I move that we approve as presented.
Second? I second. Having a second in the motion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Just to clarify, it's for both preliminary and final approval of the plat.
Very well. C, discussion of possible action on converting one-way streets into two-way streets in the city's downtown district.
Mayor, this is, what street is it, northeast?
Yeah, Northeast Street is between the main street and Second Street.
You notice that's, there's a...
Is that where Runners is?
Yes, Runners and the law office of Flor Flores and the furniture store, I forgot the name of it. It's a furniture store. Econo, yes. So, again, this is to provide, there's been concerns and it's to provide better service to the...
How would we do it to get rid of the parkings that are there? Like they're already like at an angle this way. And I don't know, if you're going north on that street, there's already parking spots designated at angles like that.
The
And I don't
plan
know-
for the parking would just to keep parking on one side of the street, so we can accommodate the two-way
But
traffic.
could we like erase those lines?
Yes,
Okay.
we can.
Actually, Mr. Barrera's got the equipment to fix that.
Okay. So that's not going to be an issue?
No. And this is the beginning of the process because we still have to publish in the newspaper a couple times.
Okay. Hello.
I move that we approve this item as recommended by staff and as presented.
I second. Motion has been seconded. All those in favor say aye. 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 Motion, Mr. Oliva?
Yeah, yes, like I said, I'm
Motion
sorry.
carries.
My voice didn't
Yes.
come out, sorry.
At this time, we move to executive session. Do we have a motion to move to executive session?
Mayor, I move that we adjourn to executive session.
Time being
I second.
4:10. Motion has been seconded. All those,
Can you read out the items, please?
what's that?
Read out the items, A, B, and C.
Oh, yes. 9, executive session, consultation with city attorney related to various personnel matters. B, consultation with city attorney related to various legal matters. And C, consultation with city attorney related to acquisition or sale of real property. Now the motion, is it amended to address all of
Yeah,
that?
yeah, I amend the motion to include that, yes. Thank you.
Second?
I second it.
All those in favor to address this in executive session, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Time being 4:10, 4:11. Okay, we're back from executive session, the time being 4:59. We're ready to resume with our meeting. Ms. Garcia, how do you propose that we proceed with this matters?
In regards to 10A, personnel matters, we have no action. In regards to 10B, which is several legal and real estate matters, we did have a item on 7E, discussion and possible action to purchase 0.356 acres from Peña Family Central Palm Realty. I recommend that we amend that item to include an appraisal.
Yeah, well, we need to take it individually, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so at this time, I propose that we make a motion to seek an appraisal of the property so that we can, in the future, in the next meeting, consider the possible purchase of said property.
I'll second that.
That's for item
7E.
7E.
7E. Second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Now, I believe that we need to address one on 10A with the executive director, don't we?
Yes. And also the airport, we're going to postpone letter A, I believe.
3A.
So we're going to go back to 3A and 3B.
Mayor, I move that we postpone item 3A.
I second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. That's going to be postponed for the next meeting. And then we have 3B.
Yes, sir.
Mayor, I move that we accept the EDC board's recommendation for executive director and appoint Rosbel Barrera as executive director.
Second.
for the EDC.
I second. Motion has been second. All of those in favor say aye. Aye. Aye, motion carries. We have a new executive director.
Congrats, Mr. Rosbel Barrera.
He's not present here, but we'll address it.
Was I supposed, we're supposed to include subject to legal review of contract? Is that
Yes, sir.
correct? Okay. If I can amend the motion to include that.
Very well. Motion has been amended to reflect that
Subject to legal review of legal contract.
Yes. Yes.
motion has been second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Yes, that's what I have.
Very well. And that's it? Okay, at this time, I'm asking for a motion for adjournment.
So moved, Mayor. I move that we adjourn.
Airport, just a second. No, that was already postponed. Those already.
Yeah, good.
Second?
I second it.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We stand adjourned, time being 5:02.